G'day. One of the things that I made up for Bob's rolling mill is a capstan handle. They're not what everybody thinks of when they first think of a handle for a machine, but they are used around the place, and I'll show you some pictures of those later. So today's video I'm just going to run through the basic steps in making one of these. They're not terribly difficult to make, and certainly for things where you want, well, either something that stands out a little bit or something that's easy to operate, they're worth considering.
The first bit of this video is just a bit of gratuitous machining and prep, so I'll speed it up and run through it. The more interesting bit comes a little bit afterwards. while I've used the ball turning arrangement for turning the balls for this handle, they can be used for other things. And here is a picture of some steam valves that I made up for a friend of mine a while back. The upper left is the original, and the other ones in gunmetal are the copies that I made for him as part of his steam indicator kit.
So these are the parts I'm going to use as a extension for my capstan. So like that. They need to be threaded on this end, and so I'm starting with a bolt, taking the head off and then shortening the thread, because that I wanted a zinc plated item, and they were there. The only problem is going to be that modern bolts are typically rolled, and so the diameter here is less than that, which is a 3/8 thread, and so I'm going to have to put something like a 5/16 or an M8 or something like that on the end to connect into the hub. So we've made our balls and our shafts. Now I've got a hub to make up. I've got a bit of aluminium. I've drilled and bored it out to 3/4 inch, which is a nice fit onto this mandrel. What I'm then going to do is put that all together and put a 10-degree angle on there, so that when my shafts come out, they come out at a slight angle rather than straight out. Just for aesthetics mainly, but also a little bit of practicality involved there. This is a device I made some time ago to help me try and get holes through the centre of a bar. So to set it up, I have a plate here with a sliding V-block in it. I put a conical piece in the drill chuck, and I come down until I got that centred in the V-block and tighten those bolts up. What I'm going to do with this mandrel is tilt the drill press so that is perpendicular to the shaft, to the axis of the drill, and that way I can now drill my tapping holes in there for putting my capstan bars in. So here we are, the complete setup at 10 degrees. So slopes down that way. I've used a 3mm drill just to space everything up, so I'm getting around about the centre of the collar there. Next thing is to drill, tap. I'll tap a hole and then support that 90 degrees so I get my 4 holes equally spaced. Well, just like everybody else, I forget that I've got pin gauges around the place as well, and so rather than drilling and tapping the hole, I just put a gauge pin in there. This is the bottom of a machinist jack, which just happened to be the right size, so I was able to index around 4 times using that in the drilled hole. It's worked out quite nicely. So here's our capstan. It's attached to the shaft with the same mechanism here. There's a washer. The bore in here has got a keyway, and the stepped shaft up here has got a keyway. The washer just holds it on. The keyway keys it for rotation, and it's used for raising and lowering the side pieces.
This is a speed handle for a milling vise, and it's probably a typical application of where you might find a capstan in a workshop. Others are drill press handles, things like that. But I hope this gives a few people some ideas, and thanks for those who've inspired me, and we'll catch you next time.